Shiva Purana Samhita, Chapter 3. The deliberation on the achievable and the means of achievement. Upon hearing the words of Sūta, the revered sages, their hearts brimming with curiosity and devotion, said in unison, "O Sūta, wise and enlightened, we implore you to narrate the wondrous Purāṇa that delves deeply into the essence of Vedānta, revealing the hidden truths of existence." Their voices echoed through the sacred grove, and Sūta, feeling the weight of their request and the importance of the moment, closed his eyes in deep meditation. In his heart, he envisioned Shiva, the eternal, the omnipresent, free from all ailments and impurities. Filled with divine inspiration, Sūta began to speak. With a voice both calm and powerful, Sūta said, "May all of you, wise sages, listen attentively. I shall narrate the sacred Shiva Purana, the foremost among all Puranas, which illuminates the very essence of the Vedas. This sacred scripture, a beacon in the dark night of ignorance, extols the supreme virtues of Bhakti, devotion, Jñāna, wisdom, and Vairāgya, detachment. These three paths are the very pillars of spiritual realization, and in this Purana their glory is sung in detail. The ultimate truth, that which is knowable only through the profound teachings of Vedānta, is elaborated here with clarity and devotion." As he spoke, Sūta's voice carried the sages back in time, to an age when countless kalpas, aeons, had passed and a new cycle of creation had just begun. The cosmos itself seemed to echo with his words, drawing the listeners deeper into the narrative. "In those ancient times," Sūta continued, "as the cycle of creation resumed its eternal dance, a great dispute arose among the sages of 6 noble clans. These wise men, though learned and devout, held differing views on the nature of greatness, and each claimed knowledge of the supreme truth. Unable to resolve their differences, they approached Brahma, the Creator himself, seeking the final word on what is truly imperishable, what is eternally great. The sages, their hearts heavy with anticipation, gathered around Brahma with palms pressed together in deep reverence. With voices filled with humility and respect, they addressed him, saying, "O Brahma, creator of all that exists, the cause of all causes, we beseech you to reveal to us the truth. Who is that being, older than time itself, the greatest of the great?" Brahma, his presence serene and majestic, looked upon the gathered sages with eyes that held the wisdom of countless ages. In a voice that seemed to resonate with the very fabric of the universe, he answered, "That being, from whom words themselves retreat, unable to capture even a fraction of his glory. That being, from whom this entire universe, starting with Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra and Indra, and including all elements and sense organs, has evolved. That being is none other than Mahadeva, the great Lord Shiva. He is omniscient, the Lord of the universe, and can only be realized through supreme devotion. No other path leads to his divine presence." The sages listened in awe as Brahma continued, "Even the greatest of the Devas, Rudra, Hari, Hara, and others, are forever desirous of beholding him, moved by an overwhelming devotion. What need is there for lengthy explanations? Liberation itself is attained through devotion to Shiva. This devotion arises from his grace, and his grace in turn is awakened by devotion. Just as a seed gives rise to a sprout, and the sprout in turn produces the seed, so too does devotion and grace feed into each other in an eternal cycle." With a gentle but firm tone, Brahma advised the sages, "Therefore, O Brahmins, descend to the earth and propitiate the Lord through a great sacrifice that must be performed over 1,000 years. It is only through the grace of Shiva, who will preside over this sacrifice, that you can achieve the ultimate goal. This goal, the essence of the Vidya, mystic learning mentioned in the Vedas, is the realization of the achievable." The sages, their minds now filled with new questions, asked Brahma, "What is this great achievable? What is the means to attain it? And who is worthy to perform such a rite? Please explain these things clearly to us." With a compassionate smile, Brahma answered, "The attainment of Shiva's region, his divine abode, is the ultimate achievable. The means to achieve this is through selfless service unto him, free from the desires of the material world. The performer of the rite, the sadhaka, must be one who has transcended even the desire for permanence, a state that can only be achieved through his grace. Perform the rites prescribed in the Vedas, dedicating the fruits thereof to Shiva. Through this path, one attains Salokya, residence in the same realm as the great Lord, and from there progresses to the very feet of Shiva. Brahma's words carried a profound truth. The fruit one attains is in direct proportion to the devotion they offer. The paths to achieve such devotion are many, as expounded by Isa, Shiva himself. Yet I shall condense these teachings into their essence and present them to you. As the sages leaned in, eager to hear the wisdom, Brahma said, "Listening to the glory of Shiva, glorifying him with words and contemplating his divine nature in your minds, these are the greatest means of all. Mahesvara, Shiva, must be heard, glorified and meditated upon. This is what the Sruti teaches us. By resorting to these means, all of you shall surely attain the achievable." He continued, his voice full of wisdom, "Just as people use their eyes to see visible things and then begin their activities, so too do they understand the invisible through their ears and act accordingly. Thus, Sravana, listening, is the first and foremost rite. An intelligent scholar must listen to the teachings of a preceptor and then practice the other rites, Kirtana, glorifying, and Manana, contemplation. Brahma's final words resonated with the sages. When these practices are well exercised, Shiva Yoga, unification with Shiva, gradually unfolds, leading to the highest states of existence. Through Salokya and other states, the sadhaka nullifies all bodily ailments and realizes supreme bliss. Though the path may seem painful at first, in the end, everything becomes auspicious from beginning to end.